Japan's head coach John Kirwan was a key member of New Zealand's World Cup winning side of 1987, but without a solid platform up front, Kirwan could not have been so devastatingly effective. Steve McDowell was the cornerstone of that All Black scrummage.
What about that for a run by prop forward? McDowell into Thorburn.
It was a very, very talented side. It was probably one of those freak eras where just so many good players just happened to be around at the same time. And I've got to give credit to both coaches, you know, Grizz Wiley and John Hart at the time, who were very dominant in New Zealand rugby with Auckland and Canterbury, but also Brian Lahore, who had done a hell of a job with Wairarapa Bush.
The All Blacks dominated the tournament, with McDowell and his fellow forwards ruthlessly dismantling the opposition. The All Blacks coaching team, as ever, had been meticulous in their preparation.
Brian Lahore was quite smart. He got us to mix a lot with New Zealanders. We kept close to them because we understood what their passion was. We weren't separated away from them, which sort of isolated us. And we went into Wairarapa, and we got billeted with some of the different farmers that were in the area. We spent a few days on the farm, a little bit of duck shooting, you know, running around on the quads. And I think that kept us really stable, focused when we came back into camp, what we were there for, what we were looking to achieve as individuals, collectively, and again for New Zealand. I think it was Gary Wetton said, you know, you remember this, it'll become more evident to us in the next 10, 15 or 20 years just how significant this particular Rugby World Cup was.
And 24 years on, it remains New Zealand's sole success in a Rugby World Cup, but the celebrations were short-lived.
Basically, it was Monday back to work. I remember it was a good long night. Saw the sun coming up, so we had a few beers and the guitar was still humming. I remember going into work and everyone had decked out the whole office in black and white, and you know, the office was just buzzing. They were very supportive of me, so I was one of the lucky ones that got time off and was supportive with some of the training, especially with the provinces and Tirana with that. So yeah, no, I take my hat off to them. They really looked after me.
McDowell now lives in Romania, where he's assistant coach to the national team, set to make its 7th appearance at the finals of the World Cup later this year.
I've spent more than 3 years with these guys, you know, and you get to know them a lot more closely. They're good points, they're bad, you know, when they're up, when they're down, you know, if they're disappointed not making selection. So being involved with them a lot more, and there's a lot more connection, if you like, and passion. But you really got to take your hat off to them when you see that you are limited to them by the rugby numbers, and a lot of them have to go outside to try and lift that level into that standard. But no, all the guys are just you know, really thrilled. And now we have the competition between, obviously, the players. You can take 30. We've got about 40, 50 players that are sort of putting their hand up wanting to go, and so it's a challenge.
Romania now face Georgia in the pool stages of the tournament, and in an ironic twist of fate, McDowell will face his former front row partner Sean Fitzpatrick, now advisor to Georgia.
It's like two brothers playing in two different club sides, you know. They go half a broke on each other, and after the game they have a beer, slap each other on the back and well done and move on. I suppose that's what rugby for me has always been about. It's very competitive on the field, and as we always say, what's on the field stays on the field. And you get on and enjoy each other's company, and you become friends that last on and on and on.